You can remain standing for the national anthem. I felt like a real singer there. That was nice. It was right in there. Good afternoon. I want to welcome you all to Fredonia High School's 95th commencement ceremony. First, welcome to our graduates, the class of 2026. Welcome to invited family and friends, all of the Fredonia staff in attendance, Dr. Ziliaks, and the members of our Board of Education. I would like to introduce myself, Ron Tonelli, principal at Fredonia High School. I'd like to take a moment to introduce all of our esteemed guests on stage with us this afternoon. To my left, from my right to left, Dr. Brad Ziliaks, Superintendent, Mr. Matt Gould, our graduation speaker today, Mrs. Sarah Korzaneski, our high school assistant principal, and our high school counselors, Ms. Amy Ward and Mr. James Hobbs. To my right, from front row to back row, our Board of Education President, Mr. Steve Johnston, Board of Education members, Ms. Sheila Starkey-Hahn, Mr. Jerry Kinney, and Mr. Kevin Martin. In the second row, from my left to right, valedictorian Ray Dye, salutatorian Catherine Fortna, and student council president Cooper Stanger. And in our third row are our student musicians and performers today, Kyrie McCarthy and Grant Abbey. We're here today to celebrate our seniors, the class of 2026, and I'm sure all of our invited speakers are going to give them a few pieces of wisdom before they depart Fredonia High School event for the very last time. One thing that I've noticed this year more than ever are videos, especially from other high schools and college graduations, where the students and audience end up booing speeches that are very obviously created with AI. What an interesting and sometimes unoriginal world you're heading out into. And after practicing yesterday, I'm positive that none of our speakers used AI to make their speeches today. I recently read an interesting fact from one of my favorite thinkers, Adam Grant, an organizational psychologist at the Wharton School of Business. He says AI writing produces an illusion of creativity. Data on more than 370,000 college essays says that after ChatGPT was invented, personal statements seemed more creative because they used more varied words, but actually featured less original ideas. Machines favor homogeneity. Humans excel at diversity of thought. So no AI in my speech, none in our graduate speeches today, which is fantastic. But I am going to borrow from my favorite author and thinker, Adam Grant, to share a few of his pieces of wisdom with you all before you leave here today. Adults in your lives over the last 13 years have spent a lot of time telling you that you might not make it in this world if you don't change your work ethic, study more, get your homework done, follow the rules, all the things that you hear every day in school. And in just about an hour, you're going to control much of your own destiny. You'll always have the support of the folks here in attendance for you, and likely more than that. But ultimately, your successes are going to rest on your decisions. With that being said, I'd like to profess a few thoughts to you so that you might fall back on something that you learn here today. There are a few pieces of advice I've run across in Adam Grant's work that I've collected and used over the last few years, and I'd love to share it with you as you prepare to be graduates today. First off, from his book, Originals, How Nonconformists Move the World. Being original doesn't require being first. It just means being different and being better. It's pretty evident that it's going to be more difficult to be original, especially with how connected our world is right now. But you always have the ability to be better at what it is you're going to participate in, or what you're going to attempt to accomplish. You control your work ethic. You control your final product. Society often celebrates those who are first. The first to graduate, the first to get a job, the first to achieve success. But true originality isn't about beating everyone else to a finish line. It's about finding your own path, bringing your unique talents to the world, and making the people and places around you better because you were there. Another book of Professor Grant is called Think Again, The Power of Knowing What You Don't Know. In this book, he says, intelligence is traditionally viewed as the ability to think and learn. Yet in a turbulent world, another set of cognitive skills might matter more, the ability to rethink and relearn. Right now, you're standing at the beginning of an uncertain future. You don't need to have every answer today. What will matter most is remaining curious, adaptable, and open to becoming someone even better than you imagined. I'm sure that over your 4 years of high school, you've changed your opinions, discovered new passions, and overcome challenges you never expected to face. Don't lose that willingness to grow. As you leave Fredonia High School, don't measure your intelligence by how much you know today. Measure it by your willingness to keep learning tomorrow. The diploma you receive tonight isn't proof that your education is finished. It's proof that you're ready for a lifetime of learning. And lastly, and back to the book Originals, How Nonconformists Move the World, Adam Grant writes, in the deepest sense of the word, a friend is someone who sees more potential in you than you see in yourself. I love that quote because it reminds us that one of the greatest gifts another person can have and can give is belief. Every graduate sitting here this evening has had someone who believed in them before they fully believed in themselves. A teacher who encouraged them to enroll in a challenging class, a coach who saw leadership in them, a counselor who recognized their resilience, a parent or guardian who kept believing through moments of doubt, a friend who reminded them they were capable of more. Sometimes success begins not with confidence in ourselves, but with borrowing somebody else's confidence until we discover our own. When you look to your left and right, graduates, as you scan the audience for your families, as you walked into the auditorium, I hope you realize the connections that you made, the bonds that you have, and the supportive network that exists here if you need it. I hope you leave here understanding that your future isn't a competition with the person sitting next to you today. Some of you will head to college, some to the workforce, some into military service, and others are still discovering what's next. Those paths don't have the same timeline, and they don't need to. What matters is that wherever life takes you, you strive to be different in the best sense of the word, to be kind when others aren't, to work hard when no one is watching, to solve problems instead of create them, and to make your community better because you chose to be a part of it. Congratulations to the class of 2026. You deserve all the greatness that is waiting out there for you. Now, I am excited to get our Fredonia High School commencement officially started and underway, and to do that, I'd like to invite Ray Dye, Student Council Vice President, to the podium to begin our celebration.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to first begin by thanking everyone here, members of the Board of Education, parents, Mr. Tonelli, Mrs. Korzeniewski, honored guests, and most important to me, let's give it up for the Fredonia High School class of 2026. We made it. Whether you've been looking forward to this moment since September, or like me, it only started to feel real because you had 3 days left to frantically write this speech, you should be proud. You should be proud of making it through the chemistry regents, even if you didn't pass. You should be proud of surviving those freezing blizzard mornings that absolutely should have been snow days. And kudos to you if you made it a snow day anyway. And I don't know about all of you, but what I'm most proud of is surviving the pacer test in gym classes here, twice. All of it brought us to this stage. Graduation is more than a ceremony. We've spent 4 years rehearsing, and today it's opening night. Many of us already know what stage we're walking or singing or waltzing our way onto, whether it's college, a career, or a branch of the military. Some of you are still deciding what show to audition for, and that's exciting in its own right. But no matter what path you choose, no performance goes exactly as rehearsed. Unlike a school musical, the unscripted moments in our lives are usually the highlights. From the challenges you didn't see coming, to the new places you'll accidentally stumble into, to the people you haven't met yet who might just change your life, there will be so much to explore and discover. Today, we're not only celebrating what we achieved in dress rehearsal, but taking the stage for the very first time. Of course, no performance is ever possible without a crew, and ours is sitting right here. To the families here today, thank you. You've been with us during every early morning and late night. You drove us to practices and sat through our concerts, even if that recorded rendition of Hot Cross Buns was, well, memorable, let's say, at best. To our teachers, it was in your classrooms where we failed, succeeded, asked questions, and grew as people. You pushed us towards our potential, and we'll take your lessons with us, even if we've forgotten how to factor a quadratic or do an MLA citation. Today belongs to all of you, too. To our family, faculty, and guests, welcome to the best seat in the house. And to the Fredonia High School graduating class of 2026, congratulations and welcome to the opening night of your lives. It's showtime.
We'll now have a musical selection from Grant Abbey. One more round of applause for Grant there. If you've never seen him play before, that's pretty impressive. We are going to move into the presentation of awards portion of our ceremony here today, and we have 5 awards to give out. On the behalf of the Arch family, I will present the Lauren Arch Memorial Scholarship. Her family could not be here today. In 2023, Fredonia High School student Lauren Arch passed away due to heart and respiratory failure caused by myocarditis exacerbated by COVID-19. This year, the Lauren Arch Memorial Scholarship will be presented to one Fredonia student. This scholarship adds a new page to the story she didn't get to finish, a legacy. It's something young people never really think about. It's not just your story, it's how your narrative meshes with and affects others in life. From the moment you're able to start affecting someone else's life, your legacy begins writing itself, line by line. It's a book full of accomplishments, failures, character, and the margins filled with moments no one else sees. Lauren's legacy is etched with messages of creativity, passion, and dedication. Her sketches and artwork told her deep feelings of anxiety, of stress, and fears. They were her outlet to get things off her chest and an avenue of articulation full of nuance and intricacies that words didn't have the power to express. On behalf of the Arch family, this year's winner of the Lauren Arch Memorial Scholarship is Charlotte Caserta. Next is the Ricky Bergstrom Memorial Scholarship given by his family. Here to present are Richard and Brenda Bergstrom.
Good afternoon. My name is Rick Bergstrom, and with me is my wife, Brenda. We'd like to take a moment to thank the Fredonia Board of Education, the superintendent, the entire administrative staff, the teachers and staff, all the parents and friends here, but especially the members of the graduating class of 2026. For this time to acknowledge 4 members that were willing to share their experiences to enhance Fredonia High School and their community. We were very pleased with this year's applicants. The essays that were submitted and their recommendations reflected a strong commitment to community. They spoke about the high school community and their local and state communities. I look forward to the future, confident that their expectations and expanded vision of community will enhance the village of Fredonia and get us through these rough times as a unified community for the future. We are here to present the Ricky Bergstrom Music and Bowling Scholarship. This scholarship has grown over the last 5 years in the number of honorees and the value of the scholarships. Through the generosity of Ricky's friends, family, and the Remember Ricky celebration, it will continue to increase. We were just informed by the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation that this scholarship has already exceeded the established goals. We hope to continue this growth. We hope that you will encourage any future graduates to take a few minutes to apply during their senior year. Our son Ricky was a typical student, complaining about school, but always ready, prepared, and on time for class. Ricky was a lifelong learner, but took pride in being diverse and open to a challenge. He was an honor student that completed the 313 program at Fredonia State University and was a candidate for August graduation at Canisius College with his MBA. Ricky was motivated to work part-time at Rite Aid, being a licensed real estate agent, and most importantly, establishing his own business, Burgers Kicks. Burgers Kicks was a successful business that introduced Ricky to the sneakers community. Ricky prided himself on friendships. He saw the good in everyone and developed a vast network of contracts throughout the United States and the world. The selection committee was asked to identify individuals that went beyond being a high school student. We looked for student leaders that displayed leadership through example. We would ask the following 4 students to join us here on stage: Gracia Domenico, Jackson Golnitz, Allison Helwick, and Sydney Hoffman. If you'd please come up. Each applicant was asked to write a short essay explaining how they exhibit the criteria of a modest, friendly, uplifting, and welcoming nature. All the applicants spoke about their experiences in the many clubs, organizations, and sports at high school. Most wrote about work experiences and family endeavors. All 4 of these students are a great reflection of the quality of this graduating class.
Gracia Domenico participated in orchestra for 9 years, vocal solos 6 years, and represented Fredonia at the Chautauqua County Music Teachers Association competition for voice 6 years. An accomplished musician performing on cello. She participated in high school and middle school musicals for 8 years, unified bowling for 4 years. It is not often that a high school student is able to express self-confidence to reflect her personal growth. I quote, "I have grown in my own confidence, empathy, and a deeper understanding of how important encouragement and teamwork are in a community. I have grown to care so much about everything I do and to cherish the time that I have because it does not last forever." She spoke about her conversation with a young vocalist being nervous and related it to her participation in flag football and a quote from her coach, "It is not about the mistake you made, but the recovery that follows." She spoke about her participation in unified bowling and a fellow student that I will call C, and how important her friendship with him became to her. He helped her grow into a kinder, more understanding person. She stated, "I am so grateful for all the opportunities I have had and how they have helped me grow into the person I am proud to be today." Thank you, Gracia, for your strong and thoughtful essay centered on encouragement and humility.
Jackson Golnitz. Jackson participated in band for 8 years, jazz band for 7 years, and represented Fredonia at the Chautauqua County Music Teachers Association and the New York State School Music Association competition. An accomplished musician performing on the trombone, he participated in chorus for 8 years. Jackson was selected to be a participant in an international summer band trip called American Music Abroad that toured 8 different countries in Europe. Mr. Bennett spoke about Jackson's commitment to music, citing his leadership in the trombone section as band president, and I quote, "a leader in our school at large." Jackson is always eager to help with any tasks that may benefit our program and his classmates. His character and fortitude are impressive, not just for a high school student, but for being a human being. He further stated, in addition to his curricular musical achievements, he is a committed member of our school community, volunteering his time for many events and organizations. Sue and Steve Cobb expanded Jackson's community involvement with their praise for his involvement with the yearly Quest expedition. Jackson became a co-leader in 2023. I hope not 1923. Mrs. Cobb is an adult crew member for the annual school musicals. She volunteered this quote about Jackson. This is amazing. "He is brilliant, energetic, dependable, trustworthy, adventurous, and respectful. I admire his eagerness to embrace new experiences and make the world a better place." Jackson, these are only a few of the many praises that were written about you. We hope that you will continue to be an outstanding community leader in the future. We look forward to your future accomplishments. Jackson, step forward.
Allison Howig participated in band for 8 years, jazz band 7 years, orchestra pit for 2 years, and represented Fredonia at the Chautauqua County Music Teachers Association and New York State School of Music Association. She was a member of the Tri-County Music Honor Society, an accomplished musician performing on the saxophone. Allison participated in 9 additional clubs and sports. In Allison's essay, she wrote, "I believe it is important to promote the idea of self-expression to others because it plays a pivotal role in an individual's life path. All in all, if I didn't have the option to enroll in the clubs, volunteer work, and classes, I wouldn't be who I am today. Each thing I do has taught me a sense of identity, self-expression, and great character traits, such as loyalty, dedication, perseverance, etc. Without all my extracurricular activities, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to grow and learn so many crucial new skills. I truly look forward to continuing this ambitious nature with Alfred State." Carol Black works with Allison in the community, wrote, and I quote, "Allison is a person of strong character that possesses an incredible artistic flair. She is respectful, reflective, and generous with her peers. She is thoughtful of others and their feelings, yet is willing to offer insight and a differing opinion when appropriate." Good luck, Allison, with your studies at Alfred State. Congratulations.
Sydney Hoffman. Sydney participated in band for 4 years and represented Fredonia at the Chautauqua County Music Teachers Association and the New York State School of Music Association competition for 4 years. An accomplished musician performing on the flute. Sydney was involved with bowling at Lucky Lanes for 3 years as part of the Unified Bowling Program. When we looked at Sydney's application and recommendations, we noted many superlatives such as humility, maturity, leadership, putting others at ease, never complains, unselfish in her desire for success, loves to see others shine, kind, loyal, genuine, and a friend. In Sydney's own essay, she wrote about her role as president of the Unified Sports Club. It was not an opportunity to highlight her accomplishments. It was a carefully constructed outline about Unified Sports. In her few words about her personal connection to Unified Sports, it was to state how this club changed my life. She spoke about the involvement of mood swings among the Unified Sports participants, and I quote, "I have handled this firsthand many times. I want to be a person who does not talk sternly with them and tell them to stop. I want to be the person who can make them laugh and bring their mood back to a positive mindset." Sydney closed her essay with the following quote, "In my future, I want to continue to uplift the people around me." Sydney, if you follow these encouraging and supportive words, your future will be bright. Stephen. If I could just make one last statement. I hope that each graduating student will take a few minutes today to express to their parents and other guiding adults a thank you for assisting them in achieving this milestone in their education. And to the parents and significant adults, spend a few minutes expressing to your son or daughter the pride you have in their accomplishments and continuing to be part of their future. They will soon be leaving your home. We hope that you will take the time to communicate and grow your role in their future. Do not have any regrets. Make sure that your relationships evolves so that the tradition to the future includes the entire family and their community. Thank you.
Now we'll present the Gabriel Bart Caruth Memorial Scholarship, given by his family, and presenting it will be Mrs. Nancy Caruth.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today not just as the presenter of the 2026 Gabriel Bart Caruth Memorial Scholarship, but as his wife. Being here for graduation today is especially meaningful for our family. It would have been Bart's 50th anniversary or 50th high school reunion with the class of 1976 this year. But what brings us the most joy today is our niece, Kaylin, graduating with this great class of 2026. First, I want to thank Fredonia High School, the faculty, the coaches, our dear friend Charlie LaDuca, and all the families here today. Your support over the past 8 years has meant more to us than you know, and has made this scholarship a truly special part of Bart's legacy. Bart just didn't play baseball at Fredonia High School. He lived and breathed the game for the rest of his life. Even after we moved to the West Coast, his heart stayed with his teammates. For years, we traveled to tournaments so he could play with the guys, his lifelong friends. The game was the thread that kept those friendships strong and connected him to his roots here. Bart loved competition, whether it was baseball, softball, golf, tennis, or more recently, pickleball. He believed competition brought the best out in all of us. But for Bart, sports were only part of the story. He deeply valued education and lifelong learning. He believed in staying curious, working hard, and above all, enjoying the journey. He brought energy, kindness, and a genuine joy to everything he did and to everyone around him. This scholarship is awarded today to a graduating senior who's participated in either baseball or softball while maintaining a very strong commitment to academics. Someone who reflects Bart's core values of commitment, resilience, humility, and heart. This year's recipient exemplifies those qualities, both on and off the field, balancing excellence with kindness and a very thoughtful respect of others. It is my privilege to award the 2026 Gabriel Bart Memorial Scholarship to Brady Crawford. Just some final words for Brady on behalf of the Caruth family, who many of them are here today. Congratulations. We hope you carry forward Bart's spirit of curiosity, loyalty to your teammates, and love of competition as you step into your next chapter. Play hard, stay curious, and never forget you're part of something of a bigger team. Congratulations.
Next, we'll present the Lovemore Foundation Scholarship given by family in memory of Paula Troutman, presented by her daughter, Mrs. Danielle Arnone.
Just an FYI, I'm emotional, but I will try to keep it together. So the scholarship is in memory of our mother, Paula Troutman, who embodied hard work, had a vision for her future, was active in extracurriculars in her school years at Pine Valley Central, while going through adversity. She created a life full of love through her family, with her friends, and in her career as an educator and an administrator in several schools, but ending here at Fredonia Middle School. Paula left her mark on the world to love more, which were her last words posted on social media for her New Year's resolution, which was hysterical because how could a person love any more than she already did? We created the Lovemore Scholarship to not only honor our mother, but to spread the message to love more. The individual who is receiving this scholarship has many of the qualities that our mother would be proud of. This student is driven, well-rounded, and looking to make a positive impact in their future career working with children. Additionally, it should be noted and commended that this student has a great commitment to others through their many activities of service. We couldn't be more proud to announce the Love More Scholarship to Molly Tuccio.
Our last award presented this afternoon is the Roger L. Pecos Memorial Scholarship, given by Roger Pecos Memorial Scholarship Committee, presented by Mr. Greg Haas.
Good afternoon, members of the Board of Education, administrators, honored guests, parents, families, and of course, the graduating class of 2026. I'm honored to be here before you today to present the Roger Pecos Memorial Scholarship. Before I present this award, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the gentleman this award is in memory of, Mr. Roger Pecos. Mr. Pecos spent 31 years in the Fredonia Central School District. He poured his heart and soul into this district. He started as a technology and engineering education teacher, earned his administrative degree, and became principal of the STEP Alternative Education Program. That program ended, and he came back to the high school as assistant principal. Eventually, he made the choice to return to the classroom and continue to teach technology and engineering education for the remainder of his career. He was also the president of the Fredonia Teachers Association for 7 years. Aside from teaching and union president, Mr. Pecos was advisor of student council for many years and led on many dances and events, and was also proud of being the advisor of the Locker Stop. He coached the girls' bowling team and led them to numerous league championships. Of course, if you know me, I love bowling, and I met Roger when we were both in youth bowling programs in the 70s. As luck would have it, we bowled together in adult leagues later on, but I never really got to know him. Fast forward many years, I decided to become a teacher for technology and engineering education, and I had the opportunity to work with him as a student teacher in 1998. The next year, I was hired here at Fredonia and had the pleasure to work alongside of him as a technology and engineering teacher for the next 21 years. During that time, we developed a great relationship, collaborated on a variety of projects and lessons, learned from each other, and became very close friends. Roger embraced the opportunity to get involved in his community in many ways. He worked for the Fredonia Recreational Department. He was a coach for Lucky Lane's Junior Bowling for 15 years, and a little known fact, he was a self-proclaimed Coach of the Year for every one of those 15 years. I don't think that record is ever gonna get broken. He was a village trustee, and he helped out the Northern Chautauqua Catholic. He was a member and treasurer of the First Ward Falcon Club, and he was a volunteer for the Fredonia Fire Police. Being a friend may have been one of Roger's greatest impacts on the Fredonia community. He loved to offer his assistance whenever you needed an extra hand. He was a compassionate and generous man, and he dedicated himself to serving others. If you knew him, you knew he had a sense of humor and often left you with a laugh. Roger retired from the school district in June of 2019. On October 29th, 2020, he suffered a stroke and subsequently passed away on November 1st. When the committee came together to establish the criteria for this memorial scholarship, we wanted candidates who exhibit many of the same qualities as Roger. We put an emphasis on involvement in school, the community, and volunteer activities. This year we had a variety of applicants, and we pared it down to a few that we interviewed, and then we pared it down to some winners. And these recipients have been very involved in the Fredonia community through music, student government, clubs, and honor societies. This year's applicants This year's recipients have been extremely dedicated to community service through Scouts, the fire department, fundraisers for various activities such as Unified Sports and Special Olympics, assisting with the Backpacking Quest, assisting with Camp Invention, the Big Buddy program, and the String Buddy programs. One of this year's recipients was a driving force behind getting the courtyard opened up and the awesome picnic tables the students get to enjoy during their study halls. After interviewing the candidates, our committee felt that the successful recipients resemble Roger in their passion for helping others and serving their communities, and will continue to do so for the rest of their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to announce the recipients of the 2026 Roger Pecos Memorial Scholarship. I would like the following students to please join me here on stage: Cooper Stenger, Alexandra Ferguson, Olivia Bulch, and Gianna Novelli. Thank you very much.
Next, we'll move to our salutatorian's address by Ms. Catherine Fortna.
Good afternoon, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Ziliox, Principal Tonelli, Assistant Principal Korzeniewski, honored guest, friends, family, and fellow graduates. I'm so grateful to be here today and for the opportunity to speak with all of you. I think all the graduates can agree that over the last year, we've been asked what we were doing after graduation at least 100 times. Just a year ago, many of us had no idea how to answer that question. But now it seems like everyone has a 5-year plan, 401k, and a roadmap of life planned out. However, looking back, many of the best parts of high school weren't planned at all. Long walks with my friends, last-minute football games, clubs I joined on a whim, moments that seemed insignificant at the time, but became some of my favorites. When I think about high school, I don't immediately think about grades, test scores, or college decisions. I think about the late-night conversations that lasted longer than they should have, laughing so hard in 8-push that no one could get through a presentation, and the people around me who somehow turned ordinary days into memories. Those are the moments that stay with us, not because they were planned, but because they happened when we were simply living our lives. We will each take lessons learned from the last 4 years with us as we leave this hall today. Not just things we discovered we were good at, but things we never expected to love. We found passions, intellectual curiosities, future ambitions, and people we never want to lose. We opened up to new experiences and bet on ourselves even when no one else did. We went from uncertain freshmen to thoughtful young adults. And that growth happened because we were willing to embrace the unfamiliar. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that growth rarely happens when we're comfortable. It happens when we join the club where we don't know anyone, take the class that intimidates us, audition for the role we never expected to get, or introduced ourselves to someone who eventually became one of our closest friends. So many of the opportunities that shaped us started with a simple decision to try. As we are all sitting here with our futures mapped out, don't let that plan stop you from going down a different path, trying something new and finding the place that is best for you. Right now, many of us do have a plan. We know what we're doing next year, or at least what we hope comes after graduation, and that's exciting. But I hope we remember that a plan isn't a contract. Some of the people sitting here today will discover new passions, change their minds, or end up somewhere completely different than they expected. That doesn't mean they got lost. It means they kept exploring. The future isn't exciting because we know exactly what will happen. It's exciting because we don't. Changing directions isn't failure, it's growth, and I encourage it. Not every opportunity will work out, but every single experience teaches us something valuable. Don't be afraid to reconsider what you want if you discover something that excites you even more. And if you're a graduate sitting here today without a complete plan, you are even more prepared to experience all the new possibilities that will come your way. We spend years rushing towards the next thing. High school couldn't come fast enough, then sophomore year, getting our licenses, finally senior year, and now graduation. Take the time to be present in the moments you're living, rather than constantly looking ahead to the next one. Be grateful for each adventure and enjoy every second before it becomes a memory. I know that's easier said than done. We're always looking ahead. 4 years ago, we couldn't wait to be where we are now. And today, many of us can't wait to see what's next. But standing here, I think it's important to appreciate this moment too. For one last time, we're all together in the same room. The people who sat next to us in elementary school, the teammates, classmates, friends, and teachers who shaped us into who we are. This chapter's ending, but what a privilege it has been to experience it. We don't know exactly where we'll all end up, and that's okay. 13 years ago, some of us were playing house together in kindergarten. 4 years ago, we were freshmen trying to find our classrooms. Today, we're graduating. Back then, none of us could have drawn a roadmap that included every friendship, opportunity, challenge, and memory that brought us to this moment. And that's the point. So as we leave here today, I hope we carry that lesson with us. Keep making plans, keep setting goals, but stay curious, stay open to new experiences, and don't be afraid to take a chance on something unexpected. Congratulations, class of 2026. I can't wait to see where life takes us and all the unexpected places we'll discover along the way. Thank you.
Next, we'll enjoy a musical selection presented by Kyrie McCarthy. One more round of applause for Kyrie and Grant, our musical performers, please. Phenomenal. Phenomenal talents. Next, I will invite Ray Dye up to the podium to give his valedictorian's address.
Members of the Board of Education, parents, Mr. Tonelli, Mrs. Korzeniewski, honored guests, and my fellow graduates, thank you for being here, and also thank you for putting up with me for a second time. It's truly an honor to stand before you today as the valedictorian of the Fredonia High School class of 2026. Today we'll be walking across the stage and into whatever comes next. I won't pretend like I have it all figured out, and I think none of us do, but wherever that door leads, there's something I want everyone to take with them. And it started one Sunday last June, not unlike today. That Sunday, my friend Benjamin and I set up a table at Barker Commons on the corner of Main and Temple. We had signs, pamphlets, and not much of a plan beyond that. Fredonia's school budget had just been rejected, and we felt like we had to do something. That first morning, a driver rolled down his window and yelled a string of profanity I'd rather not repeat here at a graduation ceremony. I'll just put it that way. Benjamin and I looked at each other, and I held up my sign that said, "Honk, if you support our students," a little higher, and I yelled back, "We respect your opinion," even though honestly, I don't think I did. Over the following weeks, we wrote to the Dunkirk Observer, hoping our opinion piece would persuade at least some people into voting yes. We stood on that corner more times than I can remember. Every weekend, more of our classmates and teachers stood there with us. And for every driver who had something unrepeatable to say, far more honked in support. In the end, the budget passed, but I think that's almost besides the point. Believe it or not, that driver wasn't the only one who cussed us out. When he rolled down his window, I don't think he heard two students with a real concern about our education, our school, our music program, sports, extracurriculars, or us as students. Like I said, I didn't even really want to respect his opinion, but I think that's exactly the point. Showing up for your community isn't something you feel like doing, it's something you choose to do anyway. We showed up before we knew whether anything we did would matter because someone had to. Our generation gets told in a million different ways to wait. Our parents say we don't know what it's like yet to be in the real world. Teachers and schools tell us to focus on our studies. Our leaders and institutions tell us you have to be 18 to vote, 35 to run for president, and believe it or not, New York State says you have to be 21 years old to buy canned whipped cream. The loudest voices are our own. We think, who am I to say anything? So we wait until we know what's going on, until we have time to care, until we have a degree or a title or a platform. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time because the perfect time is now. We never need to wait for permission to change the world. Today, when you walk across the stage and flip your tassel, wherever your path leads, find your honk if you support our students. Look for the issue you simply can't ignore, then find the message that's worth holding up proudly. Maybe that means showing up to a village board meeting and speaking for just 2 minutes about the pothole, or 2, or 3, or 10 that's been on your street since February. Maybe it means turning an empty lot into a community garden. Maybe it means writing to the Observer or knocking on doors for a candidate you believe in. One day, when New York State trusts you with your own whipped cream, it might even mean running for office, for anything from village trustee to president. But before then, you can at least register to vote and make your voice heard this November. No matter what you do or at what scale, what's important is that you care for your community and you show up. And remember, if someone rolls down their window at you, hold your sign up a little higher. Congratulations, class of 2026.
I would like to introduce tonight's commencement address speaker and an invited guest, Mr. Matt Gould. I'm going to read his bio for you now and just tell you a little bit about him before he steps up to give his speech. Matt is a 1991 graduate of Fredonia High School. He is currently the director of the MSG television broadcast for the Buffalo Sabres and is the owner-operator of Lyrical Pipe Creative, a video production company that he can thank COVID for kickstarting, as sports television took a brief hiatus. Over the past 35 years, Matt has been a live event and television director, producer, editor, and camera operator. His assignments have taken him across the globe, including documentary projects in Africa and Eastern Europe, and the Olympic Games for NBC Sports in South Korea, Japan, and France. He's covered Super Bowls, Stanley Cup finals, NASCAR races, golf majors, and horses running for a Triple Crown. Matt has also had the honor of contributing to the TV teams that provide international live coverage of the U.S. presidential debates, inaugurations, and political conventions. Aside from producing transformative stories for clients and traveling for major sports events, Matt has enjoyed partnering on projects at home with his wife Jackie, also a Fredonia High School grad, including directing their 3 kids in musicals during their time at Eden High School. Matt and Jackie have called Eden home for more than 20 years, but a piece of them still resides in Fredonia, as their parents still call this community their home. I'd like to present Matt Gould.
They gave me a wireless microphone so I could move around. Ray, Catherine, I have no idea how I follow the two of you. Amazing. But I'm going to ask you guys to come over here. We talked about this already. Come over here. Class of 2026, would you stand up for a minute? I'm going to do something I couldn't do 35 years ago. I can't believe it's been 35 years. But this isn't really something that was available to us then, but it is now. I'm taking a selfie. Come on. You got yeah. All right, look interested, smile. I need to be able to see everybody. I gotta walk way over here. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. That was an opportunity for many of you to stretch your legs. You're welcome. A few things have happened in my life since I walked this stage as a hillbilly 35 years ago. So how do I go about picking something to talk about that matters to this fine group of young adults? Great question. Mr. Tonelli called me, or I had a conversation with him while I was on the road with the Sabres in the playoffs. Thank you very much. Yep. So what great words of wisdom do I impart to a generation that is living in a very, very, very different world than I grew up in 35 years ago? I can look back on some pretty memorable moments to draw inspiration from, some of which stem from wins, many of which are lessons from loss and failure. I love storytelling. Everybody has a story. Every single one of you has a story to tell. My career has largely been about storytelling. I help tell a story every Sabres broadcast. I should mention I'm not wearing a tie today. I'm following the Rob Ray rule. Rob cannot wear a tie because he cannot button his top button, just so you know. So his explanation for not wearing a tie is as long as you have colored buttons, you're good. So no tie for me, colored buttons in honor of Rob Ray. I've been a part of teams over the years that have received a few awards for storytelling. Most recently, an Emmy Award with the NBC sports team on the Olympics. Operated a camera at the diving venue, was on the field for closing ceremonies, watching way more than 100 countries and their athletes pass me by. When we have planning meetings for the Olympic Games, the emphasis is on storytelling. You might think it's about the competition, but I'm here to tell you it's not. Think about when you watch the Olympics, how much time they spend developing the story of the athlete so that when you watch the actual competition, you care. When that athlete skates, runs, swims, or flips all over the gymnastics floor, it's all about the story. Those shots that I'm able to help capture of victory and loss and the process of it all just helps propel their story. Same would be true for another Emmy Award we received for Outstanding Live Sporting Event, directing the Buffalo Sabres broadcast the night that Rick Jenneret's banner was raised to the rafter. RJ was a master storyteller. May he rest in peace. In one short sentence, he could sum up our feelings as fans about a moment that would leave most of us speechless. I didn't bring those Emmys with me today, no need to. I brought something way better. I brought this little guy. It's a plastic trophy that I might have gotten in the years that I played Little League Baseball at Russell Joy Park. Participation and all, you know. This one, however, was given to me by a friend that I worked with as a gag Christmas gift. It has 2 words on it that you probably can't see from here, but those 2 words are "but why?" with a question mark. So this trophy means a lot to me, probably way more, definitely way more than those Emmys. My friend and coworker Carrie attached a note to that thanking me for asking this, "but why?" in meetings or in conversations. She did also mention it was sometimes obnoxious how many times I asked that dumb little question. I asked it so much that she sprung for a $1 cheap trophy to give me to celebrate it. Why, though, is powerful. Why is the root of a good story. Sometimes it can be scary, often it can be challenging to a person. Why always gets to the truth of what we think, how we feel, or what happened if there's a problem. But you can't stop at the first why. It's too easy. Often it's not even the second or third why that matters. You get to the 4th or the 5th, and now you've gotten to the good stuff. Moving past the obvious to find the root cause. There's some business owners in this room today. You can relate to this. The machine stopped. Well, why did it stop? There was an overload and the fuse blew. Why was there an overload? The bearing was not lubricated well enough. Why was it not lubricated? The lubrication pump was not pumping sufficiently. Why was it not pumping sufficiently? The shaft of the pump was worn and rattling. Well, why was the shaft worn out? There was no strainer attached and the metal scraps got in. You get the idea. The first why answered the base problem but didn't get to the root of the problem. So it was probably going to happen again. You, graduates of 2026, can help by being more than that problem identifier. Lord knows I think we have enough of those on social media today. You can identify problems, but can you do anything about it? You can squawk about problems. Can you do anything about it? So my first ask of you today as you leave here, take your next step out into this crazy world post-graduation, be a problem solver, not just a problem identifier. Help that problem to not ever happen again, or better, maybe find a better way to do it. That's when you become invaluable. And that usually starts with why? Ask the question. A couple of important additional things to this why thing. I think, personally, it's important to ask those questions face to face whenever humanly possible. Not by sending a text, not by shooting off an email, not over the phone. Do you guys use this to actually have conversations, or is it just sometimes? I mean, I'm guilty as well. But I still think face-to-face, the in-person, is where it's at. Find opportunities to be physically present, because trust me, your tone does not translate. If I text you back a why question, I bet it'll come across as condemning, because most people can't process being questioned without attaching a negative tone to it. Think about that for a second. If I ask you why on a text, how are you going to read it? But if you ask that in person, you can do it in a way that adds genuine curiosity, a want to work with that person, to find a solution, to make a change, to make it better for next time. Problem solving usually involves, by the way, more than one person and a couple texts. And when you ask why, I'm going to look over at my family right now because they know I'm not great at this sometimes. Shut up and listen. Use this. Listen to the full explanation as to why. Don't cut them off. I'm horrible at that sometimes. I won't even look over at my family because they're smiling right now. There was a great philosopher back in my day named Vanilla Ice. As Vanilla Ice would say, stop, collaborate, and other people know of this great philosopher. That's good. Listen. Listening after asking a great question is possibly the most powerful tool that you have available to you. It's an opportunity to learn, to get a different perspective, to be empathetic, to understand, to empower the other person in the conversation to at least feel like they matter a little bit, or actually a lot, because it ain't just about you. This world is definitely not just, we cannot be self-contained. We got to get out there, and it ain't just about you. My family will tell you I have way too many books on leadership in our house. We just had a discussion about this yesterday. I'm less of a fiction reader, more of a practical reader, honestly. I've not been reading enough of late and probably should dive a little more into fiction. I digress. Seth Godin, was born and raised in Buffalo. A very established writer, 20 bestsellers translated into 40 languages around the world, a speaker about marketing and what it takes to be an artist and a leader. I have a few of his books and go back to them from time to time, as he's really good at reminding me that I'm not weird for the way that I think. Maybe a little bit if I look around the world. Maybe I'm a little weird, but that's okay. A lot of what my work life has revolved around and where I find my joy is in developing unique creativity. I can probably thank those roots of that to my exposure to the arts in my time in high school. French horn or piano, singing in chorus. I really wanted to hop up here and out of my seat to sing the national anthem with the Madrigals. I miss the Madrigals. We sang a number in Madrigals back behind the last row on the other side by that David statue in the back once, and I got chills. I still get chills thinking about it. But here's the thing about the arts, band, orchestra, chorus, producing a musical. Those are just more sports teams, if you think about it. They're truly teams to make it happen. Delivering unique creativity. Seth Godin, this author, reversed engineered those three words in this book. This book is called Linchpin. Seth Godin, Linchpin. See if you can remember that. This would be a book worthy of reading for you guys as you venture out into this world. Delivering unique creativity, he talks about creativity, is personal, original, unexpected, and useful. Unique creativity requires domain knowledge, a position of trust, the generosity to actually contribute. If you want to create a unique guitar riff, or a bass riff, or a viola riff, you need to know the other riffs that are out there for yours to be unique. So it requires a little bit of work. You two were awesome. Awesome. Unique implies that the creativity is focused and insightful. Delivering unique creativity is the hardest part, because not only do you have to have insight, but you also need to be passionate enough to risk the rejection. Rejection will come, and delivering a solution that you can bring to this. You must ship. The resistance, our fear of standing out, rears its ugly head every time we're on the hook for this kind of work. Seth's a pretty smart guy. Go get this book. Friends, if this book, I'm going to skip past that. The creative process is and should be a messy one. If you had any idea what it takes to produce a live hockey game, what we go through on a pretty regular basis, and all the mistakes that we make behind the scenes that we hope that you do not see at home during a live broadcast. I wrote something on a whiteboard at the Sabres when I was working on a video project a number of years ago. I don't have a whiteboard here, but I'm going to physically kind of walk you through what a creative process is like. There's stages to it, and I wrote this as a reminder to myself that it's going to be okay. First stage, this is going to be awesome. That's the start. Then you take a little wander through the creative process. This is going to be okay. Maybe not as great as I thought it would be. Then you get to a certain point where you're taking way too long, and this is going to be awful. And then you turn around and look in a mirror and you say to yourself, I am awful. And then something clicks, and you think to yourself, well, there's some potential here if. And then if you're really lucky and you persevere your way through it, remember I said in the beginning, this is going to be awesome? This was awesome. And you powered your way through it and got it done. Putting a hockey broadcast on is a lot like that. We go through a similar process. We often work what is called a set, shoot, strike. Our day starts at 9 a.m. because the TV truck is coming in from another event that had just done the day before. We set our show, we shoot our live broadcast, and we strike it at the end of the night. 9 a.m. till after midnight. It's a glamorous life. It's a lot of fun, but those are long 14, 16, 17-hour days sometimes. Good luck not making a mistake when you're working 14-hour days. Which brings me to my next point, people, relationships. And this is the big one for you guys today, okay? I'm often asked, how do I get to work on these major events? I'm here to tell you a majority of that has to do with the relationships I've built over time. Sure, technical skill and experience matter, and yes, a little luck and timing thrown in, but there's no guarantee in life. I hesitate to go back here, but remember COVID? Where do you think sports TV went during COVID? Nothing. Mr. Tonelli mentioned in my introduction, I had the opportunity then to figure out what I was going to do and how do I support my family. I've got kids that are graduating high school and going into college. How are we going to pay for this? I got a message on Facebook about a month in from my friend Stacy, who is my first boss at Channel 2 when I first started my career. She had moved on, was working at ECMC Hospital in Buffalo, the largest trauma hospital in our area, and the best, in my opinion. They had 4,000 staff that they could not communicate to face-to-face anymore. Their CEO, Tom Quattrochi, who went to college at Fredonia State, wanted to communicate to his staff outside of an email. So I'm not crazy when I talk about this stuff. So Stacy reached out to me on Facebook and asked me, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. Sitting home. Well, Tom needs somebody to shoot a weekly video so he can talk to his staff. I'm there. Great. So I went into the hospital. 2 weeks into that turned into interviewing 17 nurses on the COVID floor and hearing some pretty tear-jerking stories, and then being able to share that with Western New York as a result. You know, Jim Kelly ads you see on the Buffalo Bills broadcast on an NFL game where Jim's at ECMC, I was able to shoot and direct those. That work came to me because of relationship, because of friends that I made and kept, and people that I valued. I'm convinced I get the fun work in part because I'm good to people around me. I care. I'm not being nice to get the work. That's not the point. I'm treating people as I want to be treated. And sometimes I'm probably better to some people than they are to me. That's okay. Early in my career, I'd have to power through that, and you will too. Because you need the work and the reps and the money. Trust me, if you power through the tough stuff, you'll have the ability later in your career, because you're working enough, to then look at the people that you don't want to work with and say no, and save yourself the headache. But you got to work to get there, and you got to treat people well. Way back in 1988, I was a freshman at Fredonia High School. I was skinny. I put on a few pounds. I was skinny, uncomfortable at times. I had braces for 6 years. Is there a For 6 years, Mr. Fortna, I had braces. Okay, not your fault, by the way, but that's, you know. The same year, Nike came out with the most iconic 3 words in marketing ever. Does anybody remember those? Just do it. Well, just last fall, so many years later, Nike updated that campaign, rolling out a new slogan. Instead of just do it, why do it? As Nike put it, quote, the campaign reframes greatness as a choice, not an outcome, handing just do it to today's generation and emboldening them to write the next chapter. It stands as a challenge to the hesitant generation. Greatness isn't handed out, it's chosen, and sometimes the most important choice is simply to begin, lest you think I'm crazy about the why. Are you the hesitant generation, though? I mean, I get it if you are. Looking around the world, there's not a lot to trust. There's plenty of reasons to sit back, grab a box of popcorn, and watch it burn. I mean, what a gong show on a lot of levels. But I don't buy it. I don't see that in your generation. My son Caleb, my daughter Gianna, who's here today, now both have theater degrees. Caleb's looking for work as an actor and writer. Gianna is a leader behind the technical scenes as a stage manager. They're out in the real world now, finding their way in a gig economy, and I'm proud of them for how they're looked at by their peers. They're making choices to contribute to the world around them, to make difference in every little thing they do. And to me, the art of that truly is interaction with people. Be an artist. Surprise people by caring for them in every interaction you have. That starts with your inner circle, your family, your friends. That extends to your work and your career. And I promise you, your online presence. The kinder you are here, the kinder you will be everywhere else. Don't hide. Be you. Be kind. Mr. Tonelli, thank you for asking me to be here today. I'm truly humbled by the opportunity to even have a couple of minutes to share some things I wish I had heard 35 years ago. In my career, I can look back on awards, being around celebrities, being on the playing field of a major championship, many great experiences that look great on Instagram. But the reward is in the relationships, the people you work with, what you learn from them, what you take away from their leadership, your empathy, your desire to see them succeed. I wish every single one of you the best to succeed. But it's not all roses and rainbows. It can be messy. If you're doing it right, it will include failure. To the class of 2026, as you enter the next stages of your life, whether it's in college, in a trade, building a family, help this world by delivering unique creativity. Ask why. And embrace all that comes with that. Enjoy the process, as messy as it may be, and the people involved, as messy as they may be. Work hard to find and retain the joy in all of it. The world just might, no, the world will be a better place as a result. Thank you. Congratulations.
At this time, we'll set up for the presentation of the class of 2026.
Hello again. Sorry. Looking back on the last 4 years of high school together, I think about how amazing it is that we all made it here today. Each of us, with our own unique challenges and struggles, have persevered and prioritized our education, an incredibly valuable tool. I can confidently say that perseverance is a common theme of our class. Over the years, we have grown together through successes, setbacks, and everything in between. We have spent countless hours in classrooms, on athletic fields, on stages, in club meetings, and supporting one another at events. Along the way, we have celebrated victories, learned from disappointments, and discovered strengths we didn't know we had. What makes the class of 2026 special is our individuality. Sitting here today are future teachers, nurses, engineers, business owners, artists, tradespeople, scientists, military members, and community leaders. We are a class filled with athletes, artists, musicians, scholars, and innovators. Over the last 4 years, we've filled our school with our stories. We've spent early mornings at practices, late nights at rehearsals, weekends volunteering, hours preparing for competitions, and more time than we'd probably like to admit finishing assignments at the last minute. We have challenged ourselves, stepped outside our comfort zones, and found ways to leave our mark on Fredonia High School. Our accomplishments extend far beyond grades, awards, and achievements. They can be found in the friendships we made, the obstacles we overcame, the kindness we showed one another, and the determination that brought us to this moment. Every graduate sitting before me has a story of hard work and resilience that deserves to be celebrated. The people sitting beside you today are the people who understand your hillbilly references, remember your most embarrassing moments, cheered for your successes, and witnessed your growth. Even as time passes, there is something special about knowing there will always be a group of people who share this chapter of your life with you. I'm so proud of every single one of you and everything we have accomplished, and even more excited for everything we will accomplish in our futures. As we turn our tassels and begin this next chapter, I hope we carry with us not only the lessons we learned in school, but also the connections we made along the way. The class of 2026 has already proven that we are capable, resilient, and determined. More importantly, we have proven that we can support one another through challenges and celebrate one another through successes. We are truly a part of something bigger than ourselves, and as we enter the real world, I know the positive impact of our class will be lasting. Whether our paths eventually cross every day or only at class reunions years from now, I hope we never forget where we started, the memories we made together, and the people who helped shape who we are. Congratulations, class of 2026.
At this time, it is my pleasure and privilege to begin awarding the high school diplomas to the members of the class of 2025. Will the first row of candidates, wait a minute. Is that right?
26.
26. Will the first row of candidates please rise? Will Ms. Ward and Mr. Hobbs please introduce the candidates?
Grant Abbey. Brooklyn Giselle Allnott. Braden Michael Ambrose. Madison Ann Ambrose. Winston Alexander Ancona. Nishwan Arif. Olivia S. Balch. Alicia Isabella Batista. Devin M. Batten. Michael Angelo Bauza. Ella Rain Beach. Val L. Brandon. Diego Ernesto Briello. Pietro Cabiza. Charlotte Rose Caserta. Yabdil Clemente Santiago. Keisha Marie Colon. Alana M. Cook. Madeline Mary Ellen Craig. Brady P. Crawford. Emily Diamond Creeley. Ray Cheng Dai. Zachary Davis. Margaret May Dallas. Gracia Juliet Domenico. Donovan Clifford Dowdy. Amato Samuel Fidel. James Porter Fagan. Alexandria Elizabeth Ferguson. Catherine May Fortna. Catherine's diploma is being given by her mother, Lisa Paul Fortna, a member of our Fredonia School Board. Gabriel Philippe Garzone. Jackson Robert Golnitz. Austin Joseph Gagino. Adam Myron Hartung. Eli Joseph Hawk. Allison Ruth Helwig. Marla Rosalie Henderson. Sydney Lynn Hoffman. Kyle G. Holland. Lulu Jewell. Michaela May Jimerson. Elizabeth Mary Joy. Moss Kaiser Collin. Aiden Scott Cotta. Nathan Cruz Keefe. Ryan R. Kelly. Natasha M. Kemp. Ryan John Koopman. Adriana A. Kubaki. Joseph Kyle Lancaster. Jacob John LeBaron. Brennan Robert Lincoln. Colin P. Luce.
Trillium Mason DeMello. Georgiana Marie May. Kyrie K. McCarthy. Michaela Mead is not able to be here to receive her diploma this afternoon. Accepting the diploma on her behalf are three of her best friends, Catherine Fortna, Kaylin Rollins, and Olivia Balch. Angelina M. Mikas. Julianelle Melger Torres. Liam A. Moon. Grady James Moore. Riley O. Maurer. Gianna Leon Novelli. Madeline Grace Oakes. Julian Luis Ocasio. Liliana Amari May Phillips. Sam Aaron Petro. Helen Lynn Pope. Ryan Nicholas Priolet. Tyler J. Priolet. Elizabeth L. Proper. Jomar Quiles Colon. Cameron S. Reinelt. Dominic Charles Riddle. Caden William Rizzo. Cole Rizzo. James A. Robb. Yoswam Jesus Robles. Kaylin Ray Rollins. Michaela Elizabeth Rosario. Isaiah Robert Ruiz. Mariella Grace Russo. Yesenia Santiago Hernandez. Calla Patrice Schaller. Sanai Ashley Seabrook. Caleb M. Shepard. Bennett Asher Shepard. Jackson Justice Spangler. Isaac Stanford. Cooper James Stenger. Charles B. Thompson. Orion Charles Thompson. Mason Douglas Tomaszewski. Braden James Truby. Molly Charlotte Tuccio. Henry S. Warner. Ryan Wagranowski. Brody W. Winchell. Kirsten Brenna Witkowski.
That gave me time to study, so I think I have it. Will the candidates please rise? The faculty and administration of the Fredonia Central School District have verified that you have successfully completed the prescribed course of high school study for the state of New York. Therefore, by the power vested in me by the state of New York and the Board of Education, I hereby award you a high school diploma. Will you please cross your tassels from right to left? Congratulations, class of 26. Congratulations once again. Will the candidates please be seated?
To give our farewell address, I'll invite up to the podium Cooper Stanger, Student Council President.
All right. Graduation marks the end of one chapter, but more importantly, it's the beginning of another. Before we begin the next chapter, I'd like to share one lesson I've learned recently, one that's changed the way I think about the time we're given. A few months ago, I started volunteering with the Fredonia Fire Department. In that short time, I've learned something I never expected. When the tones go off, we're often responding to someone on one of the worst days of their life. Someone who has lost their home. Someone who has lost someone they love. Someone whose life has been changed forever in just an instant. And what strikes me every single time is this. Almost every one of those people woke up that morning believing it would be an ordinary day. None of them expected that everything was about to change. I don't share that to make this moment feel heavy. I share it because today is a celebration, and celebrations remind us what matters. They remind us that every day matters, every conversation matters, and every choice matters. Because the truth is, we never really know what someone else is carrying. We don't always know what battle they're fighting, what loss they're grieving, or what fear they're trying to hide. So choose kindness, choose patience, and choose compassion, not because it's easy, because it matters. You don't have to save a kitten from a tree or run into a burning building to be someone's hero. Sometimes the greatest act of courage is simply noticing someone who feels invisible, listening when everyone else is talking, offering encouragement when someone has almost given up, treating people with dignity even when no one is watching. Before today ends, I want to challenge every one of us to do one simple thing. Think about someone who helped you become the person you are today. A parent, a teacher, a coach, a friend, a grandparent, someone who believed in you before you believed in yourself. Then don't wait. Text them, call them, write them a note, tell them what they mean to you. Tell them how they changed your life. Because tomorrow isn't promised. The only moment any of us are guaranteed is this one. As the class of 2026 walks out these doors and into whatever comes next, I hope we're remembered not only for what we accomplished, but for how we made people feel. Be the person who shows up. Be the person who lifts others up. Be the person who chooses kindness when it's easier to walk away. Not for the recognition, not for the applause, not because someone might thank you, but because it's the right thing to do. Because you may never know the difference one small act of kindness can make. And because the only time we are ever truly given to make a difference is right now. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2026.